Alrighty, it's patch note time. Before I even show you the patch notes, as always, you're reading patch notes. Do not get obsessive about one change. You have to think about them in its entirety and not look at changes in a vacuum. Don't get tricked. Here we go. Are we ready? Perfect parry. This is one we kind of know about, but now we get to see the whole details. A screen freeze will no longer occur when successfully performing a perfect parry unless the correct direction is held. So this means if you're crouch blocking and they do a mid and you perfect parry, it doesn't freeze the screen. If they are doing a cross up and you perfect parry on one side, it doesn't do the freeze. Down back must be held for low attacks and back must be held for high and overhead attacks to successfully produce a screen freeze. Because perfect parry required no additional input, it was too easy of a choice to simply parry the move the moment the player sees their opponent's move. It's true. Like there's tons of things you can react parry and reversal the scenario and get side swaps out of and stuff. The drive parry before drive rush, occasionally causing a perfect parry by chance when hit by an opponent's spacing attack. Basically, you would just like sit there, tap parry, and then drive rush, and you could get a perfect parry and then be like, oh, cool, and then get a combo off of it, and then drive rush if it whiffs. This is something that people really started to do in the last like half a year or so, a lot. Incidental perfect parry situations were found to result in a frustration for players when a perfect parry turned the tide of a match. While we attempted to balance the risk and reward of perfect parry through use and gain an increased recovery of drive parry, reward was still too high on a success and the risk too low on failure. Because the perfect parry alteration has made highs and lows more important, many characters has received changes to their lows to ensure they are not overly powerful. This change also means that it will be more difficult to perform perfect parry against an attack out of drive rush, a common choice to begin an offensive push. Taking this into consideration, crouching medium kicks that cannot be canceled into other moves have been giving scaling in order to ease their strength when used from drive rush, as this could lead to combos that were safe on blocks. Drive rush, crouching medium kick from A.K.I or Kimberly, or Elena has one, JP as well. Were a little too powerful. In anticipation of long-reaching lows becoming a powerful way to begin offense, characters that were able to cancel their crouching medium kicks will no longer be able to evade an opponent's throw after having their drive rush light blocked from crouching medium kick. This will require an opponent to throw as soon as they are able. Okay, so this sentence is big. If you do crouching medium kick, drive rush, crouching jab, you can't walk back and bait them, they're saying. You have to hard commit by like backdashing or jumping or targeting it with like a frame trap timing or something like that. They're making delay tech more powerful. Attack sequences that use crouching light kick from close ranges have also received changes. It was common to have crouching light kicks perfect parry when trying to check an opponent's wake up. This combined with the fact that most light punches resulted in more advantage, crouching light kicks were considered a low priority move. With the changes in perfect parry, these attacks should see much more use. These also have made it more likely for consecutive light attacks to reach with alterations to advantage and pushback on block to light moves. Okay. Throw escapes. The player who escapes a throw will now receive more drive gauge and super R gauge than before. A classic defensive strategy was to perform a delayed throw tag after blocking for an instant. This is a strong option against both strikes and throws, but it proved difficult to turn the fight around in your favor as the attacker could simply wait and attack a whiff throw, making it high risk but low reward. As a defensive measure against throws, players could also backdash or jump to get better rewards, which meant that throw escapes was not an option that was chosen often. So people would just eat throws over and over and over. In order to provide players with another valuable close range option on the defensive, we decided to give more resources upon a successful throw escape. This would be a huge boon for a player, especially just before hitting burnout. This is really powerful. This means in general, throws are way more powerful. They made teching more powerful because delay tech after drive rush is more powerful. They made it teching more powerful because you build meter as well. Like they really buffed defensive decision making after plus frames. So this is a big deal. Sweeps, along with reducing the hurt box on the first active frame, we made adjustments so that on a normal or a counter hit, players can still perform a recovery. No longer a hard knockdown on non-punish counter sweeps. Because they have a smaller hurt box on first active frames, sweeps are more powerful counter poking into other attacks. But they obviously still are usually punishable and stuff. Due to this change, the strategy of knocking down an opponent and switching sides before they get up is now gone, except if the attack lands as a punish counter. This is a big nerf to Guile, by the way. Combos into like button and then does like crouching heavy kick and then side swaps with knee. By pressing the assist button with an attack button, you can now use different jumping attacks when you're in the air. This is for Manon control. Very nice change. And unique assisted combos now be performed starting from a rapid cancel light. So they have chain lights on this. Cool. So these are the changes that they made. Drive gauge recovery now occurs from frame 11 after moving forward. The cooldown period that occurs after immediately performing an overdrive art is not affected due to the amount of drive recovered. What was it before if it was frame 11? 50 gig patch. They did mention it was going to be bigger. All right, cool. Should we go into the character changes now? Luke. This character's problem, IMO, was that it was too expensive for him to do most of the stuff he did, which resulted in him burning out all the time. Basically, he has to spend drive gauge to do any of his knuckle combos. and it's just expensive, and he doesn't do that much damage. They say the perfect version of medium flash knuckle comes out fast and can combo from crouching heavy punch for big damage, but by removing the combo scaling from the perfect version, gives it a more pronounced difference. So we tweaked the attack, so even if you miss the perfect version, if your execution is good, the combo will still connect. To go along with this adjustment, we remove the tweak where the hold version recovery would be shorter if collided with a drive impact. Medium target combo. On hit, Luke will gain much more drive gauge than before, and knockdown time is increased, allowed you to do a forward dash and a standing heavy kick into a meeting setup. So he gets more drive gauge from standing medium punch, which is good because he spends a lot of drive gauge in general. Dude, so much drive gauge, actually. More than what he got before. And light rising uppercut, we've greatly increased the combo count upper value so it can be used in juggles more often. Ooh, maybe he has like in the corner knuckle into light DP into heavy DP or something. His corner juggles kind of suck. They're not as good. He'd rather hit you in the middle of the screen a lot of times. Crouching light kick has better recovery, better advantage on hit, and better advantage on block. They made this change, I think, to a bunch of crouching light kicks, right? Standing heavy, reduce hard box from the feet so it can be better poking against lows. Back heavy kick, advantage on block, change from -5 to -3, plus on block now off drive rush. Reduce the pushback on block, adjust it so that some forward momentum remains if this attack is... Oh, so he has new drive rush button, which is really fat if it hits, and plus on block. That's very good. Sandblast, reduce hurt box around the arms, backwards between the frame from the attack hitbox comes out. Now the second active frame, drive gauge reduction on block change to 2,500 to 3,000, so he gets more drive gauge. EX Sandblast, drive gauge reduction on block change from 2,000 to 3,000, extended the timing where you can cancel by 5 frames. Delay catch you with the cancel on this. That's pretty cool. And they made it faster as well. His EX overhead is safe. It's actually +1 in burnout now. These seem like nice changes. He'll probably feel quite a bit better is my guess. Cool, Jamie. We looked at adjusting his standing and medium kick, which was great at controlling the neutral from mid to long range by increasing the risk when it misses. In addition, we increased the variety of techniques he can use in a combo at close range. Standing medium kick, we adjusted so that the hurt box when he misses remains for a while. Yeah, this move is kind of spammable. We made the startup faster so it can combo from a crouching light punch or crouching medium punch on punish counter. Oh, that's pretty nice. 1 frame faster startup, and recovery changed to 1 extra frame with expanded hurt box at the end. Standing medium punch, advantage on hit changed from +5 to +6. So on drive rush, this is +10. This is also a plus on block. So this is like way better for him. Standing heavy punch, collision push box has been expanded upwards, making it more difficult for Jamie to pass underneath airborne opponents during a combo. Very nice for his juggle combos. I think that'll probably feel more consistent. Standing heavy kick, advantage on hit changed from +1 to +3. Maybe heavy palm is like a natural combo from this now. And also on drive rush, this is going to be +7. Crouching light punch, extended momentum left drive rush by 1 frame, so he slides a little bit more. Crouching medium has 2 more frames of recovery. Expanded the hurt box that appears around the feet. When he misses, removed hurt box around the feet. Crouching heavy punch is 8 frames now. That's a big deal. That means on counter hit standing medium punch, he gets crouching heavy punch, right? +2 on block, walking standing medium punch into counter hit crouching heavy punch confirm. Light punch, light kick, medium punch. Advantage on hit on the last attack changed from -2 to -1. What the? His overhead kick will no longer drink if the kick button is held after the second attack hits. Normal/overdrive free flow strike, which is the Rekka. The final hit can now be canceled into a super art. And the overdrive version can also be canceled into super art too. That's pretty nice actually. Initial scaling of 25% added to the first and second attack of the OD version. Increase the distance when he has higher drink. Whoa, this is pretty nice. Increase the distance traveled by light and medium versions of the first attack when Jamie's between drink level 1 and 3. This is pretty big. Palms, increase blowback time on the medium and heavy versions of hitting an airborne opponents. You have more time to drink or do other stuff, right? Probably, or juggle. Overdrive version, expanded collision push up box upwards, hits higher, makes it easier to juggle probably. Added 3 active frames on the light version of his DP and reduced recovery by 3 frames. Added 2 active frames on the medium and heavy versions and reduced recovery by 2 frames. Lowered blowback on the active frames added when they hit above an opponent. So they're making his DP feel more consistent. A light breakdance added an additional attack hitbox to the 3rd and 4th attacks during a combo to make it like work correctly and juggle correctly. And then his heavy version is 1 frame faster, reduced attack hitbox backwards on the first active frame. He got insanely good buffs, IMO. Like you guys are memeing about him being bottom 1 still, but his buffs sound extremely good. I don't even know what other changes you want him to get. You know what I mean? He got better juggles, better hit confirms. He got better advantage on the stuff he wants to do. His like staggered plus on block combo starter move is better. They gave him new combo routing with Rekka into level 3. Yeah, these are nice changes for him. Manon. For reference, like remember last time when this character got buffed, everybody was like, this shit's not enough. She's going to be whack still. And as the patch got longer and longer, I think people's opinion of this character went up quite a bit. Manon has unique ability to pull opponents towards her. We wanted to offset Manon's slow movement speed by improving her ability to move around and take the initiative after those attacks. On the other hand, we increased the risk of standing medium punch when it misses and tweaked the disadvantage of the attack on block. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty degen, no? One more frame of recovery, knockback time on hit increased by 1 frame, advantage on block changed to -2. So no longer loops into itself, which is a big deal. Standing medium punch, medium kick target combo now produces a knockdown. Increases hit stop on standing medium punch on punish counter from 11 to 14 frames. So you have more time to like see it and hit confirm. That's interesting. Standing heavy now launches the opponent. So you can go directly into a combo from overdrive, quarter circle forward, and 2 kicks and other attacks. She has hit confirmable heavy into EX kicks into metal. That seems really good. Yeah, it's probably for punish counter, right? Because they mentioned up here they changed it for punish counter. That seems awesome though. Expanded standing heavies attack hitbox horizontally on punish counter, so it's more consistent. Increase hit stop on standing heavy on punish counter. Added scaling because now it launches for a combo. Increase the buffer time. Crouching medium punch recovery changed from 13 to 15 frames. So it seems like universally they've made changes to crouching medium punches or mediums in general that are really spammable into drive rush in this version. Like almost all of the characters seem like they got this. Crouch light kick better on block. This is another universal change. More scaling on crouching medium kick, another universal change. Quarter circle forward, light kick changes the effect when hitting opponent on the ground from a blowback knockdown to a tailspin. I wonder how that actually affects her combos. I'm not sure. This makes her whip punishment game way better. Kim. We've given Kimberly Shuriken Bomb spread different abilities on each strength level, which will increase the number of variations at her disposal. Other changes are primarily based on the common adjustments. So it sounds like they're not changing her too much. By pressing light and medium or medium and heavy, you can change the detonation timing between the Shuriken bombs, giving Kimberly new combo possibilities. This will allow Kimberly to break down the opponents with strikes and throws, so smart placements will give her a big advantage. That's cool. A light, medium, heavy kick target combo was a little too overshadowed compared to our other target combos, so we changed it so the opponent hit reaction gives her a better advantage. This is especially true when in the corner, so you can place your Shuriken bombs. This is like modern changes. Again, same thing, they're adding new modern light strings by holding down and then new modern jump attacks. Crouching medium punch, more recovery. This is a universal change. Spammable mediums in the game just have more recovery. Reduce pushback on crouching light. Change scaling to be higher on crouching medium kick. This is universal change. Decrease an additional combo count value for her jumping heavy punch for juggles. Because it splats you right now. We'll have to look at how that looks. Expanded hurtbox that it lasts until the end of the technique only when the attack misses for her elbow. Expanded Tatsu hitbox on the final attack upwards. Makes the transition to sprint to arc step slightly faster. Oh, this is a Zangief change. So she basically only got universal changes and buff to her cans. This is pretty cool. I bet you people will find some cool new setups for this. All right, this character, people really wanted her to get buffs. The appeal of Marisa was clobbering people with heavy strikes for massive damage, but her combo starters had big openings, and combined with her slow walk speed compared to other changes, she had a hard time engaging in neutral. I'm going to be honest. I think the changes to Perfect Parry are very good for her because so much of what she does is just like, oh, I see her doing a thing, parry. Marisa will now be able to get damage a little bit easier than before via different approaches thanks to the changes made to her low attacks in conjunction with the perfect parry changes. Yeah, see, this is what I expected. And updates that make her combos and counterattacks hit their mark better from normal moves. Crouching light punch, advantage on hit changed from +3 to +4. Advantage on block changed from -3 to -1. So now you can chain it and it no longer is probably not a frame trap, which is nice for her. Staying a light kick has less pushback on hit. Crouching light kick has better advantage. Crouching medium kick advantage on hit changed from +2 to +3, which means on counter hit, she gets a 5-framer. And then on drive rush, she is +7. Standing heavy increased buffer input time at the end of recovery. Crouching heavy hold can now be canceled into a super R until the second active frame. 2 frames of hit stop added. Okay. Increased knockdown time by 7 frames on heavy. EX phalanx and regular phalanx. Reduce hurtbox around the feet upwards on the light, medium, and overdrive versions from immediately after the jump until the 3rd active frame. For the heavy version, the adjustment in number 1 to the hurtbox around the feet occurs 3 frames faster than the other version. They put the wrong input there. Medium punch version of this expanded the anti-air invincibility property from only the head to the area of the waist up. So quarter circle back medium is a better anti-air now. Level 1 now triggers if Marisa is thrown. Damage on counter is changed to be slightly less. Expanded the collision push block on the longest held version that appears 1 frame before the attack hitbox is there. And added an additional attack hitbox to the longest held version that can only be hit during a combo. So she gets better juggles on it. And then level 2, increase active frames and invincibility. Add an additional attack hitbox on the first hit that can only hit during a combo, making it easier to hit high combos. The thing for this character is I think the system changes are a really large buff for her. And I think this change is going to be quite large. Tap parry is way worse against her in this version. She has a real low that is threatening on drive rush. And they also buffed the anti-air. So like all of her large problems on like a system-wide stuff, like chaining lights, lows, and parries, like seems like a lot better. Yeah, this is the change from her jab, right? Pretty big. I think her changes look good. Oh, that's new. And she can, oh my God. This to me sounds like nice changes to the character. How much better? I'm not sure. I guess we'll have to see. Lily's anti-airs, such as back heavy punch, crouching heavy, and other attacks saw their proficiencies downwards. But techniques that move her forward, such as her forward dash and desert storm, forward heavy punch, got adjusted to be stronger. Trying to make crouching heavy not the do everything button, huh? Medium tomahawk buster is now easier to incorporate in combos, which is a big change for her. Lily has good combo ability from her light attacks, so now that when she doesn't have a wind clad stocked, you can use it to cover situations where previously only the EX dive works. There's also situations where standing and crouching light punch would not hit with the attack, despite their long light range. But we believe Lily will be able to maintain her drive gauge while fighting in these situations. Yeah, it really sucked with this character when you did like 3 lights and your only combo was like Spire or like EX Spire, or like that's kind of it. It like didn't feel that good. So yeah, that's a nice change. She goes further on her forward dash. Crouching light kick, reduced pushback. This is a system change. Crouching heavy no longer hits an opponent behind Lily on active frames 1 and 2. So worse is an anti-air. Jumping medium punch can now be canceled into special moves. That's nice. Back heavy. Expanded her box above the body, now disappears 3 frames later and remains until the end of recovery. Desert Storm, which is forward heavy punch, is 2 frames faster, a -4 now instead of -5. And attack hitbox on the first active frame expanded forward. So this is probably like a better whip punish. It's 2 frames faster, safer on block, especially if spaced out and you can hit confirm it. Second hit, expanded hitbox upwards, expanded collision push box upwards from when the technique is performed, fix an issue where punish counter hitbox was mistaken as a counter hitbox. And then the last hit, reduced recovery to be 3 frames faster. Advantage on hit is also changed. Advantage on block, slightly safer, which it's -23. You're going to punish it. They want you to whip punish with forward heavy punch more, and they want her to have better mobility. Easier to hit people at higher elevations with Condor Wing. Light Tomahawk Buster, increased blowback time when the second hit of the opponent standing on the ground. Medium and normal Wingclad Tomahawk Buster. This is her DP, right? But wrong input. Added an additional attack on the hitbox that you can only hit during a combo, making it easier to hit an opponent in front of you. Remove 10% immediate scaling on EX Dive, except for when performed from Tomahawk Buster. And then level 1, add an additional hitbox that can only hit during a combo in the second and third attacks if the first attack hits, and the third attack if the second attack hits, making it easier to hit opponents above you. They made a lot of adjustments to her combo routing to hit above her. Far buttons into DP will feel a lot more consistent, and she has combos that are real instead of crouching heavy or whatever Spire being the only option. Active frames on the first attack for level 2 changed. Attack is now completely invincible from the attack start up until frame 4, and then projectile invincible and after that until the attack hitbox disappears. The attack is now considered grounded until the end of active frames. Okay. If she's doing light, medium DP, dash, point blank Oki, no win stocks, that shit's gonna feel nice. I bet you she will feel a lot better. JP. There are no big changes to JP. Initial scaling was added to his combo starters, medium and heavy ghosts, or heavy kick and crouching medium kick, increasing the damage of the overdrive Stribog, which is quarter circle forward, and 2 punches, the staffsman, when it hits the tip of the attack. So these are the modern changes. Crouching medium kick scaling, which is universal. Damage for the second attack increased for the spin. Fix an issue and interrupting with a command grab would cause it to be funky, and more scaling on EX Ghost. That's basically it. No changes for this guy. This character is going to be insane with buffs to defense, by the way. Throwing it out there, he might be the GOAT. I'm just saying. He might be. Juri. We had looked to adjust Juri's ability to lock down opponents with some attack, as well as the easiness and risk for opponents to punish her. Jumping heavy, the hurt box is expanded to make it easier to trade with anti-air attacks. Yeah, fuck this move. And the advantage on block was adjusted so that it's now +1 instead of +5 when blocked by opponents of average height. Back heavy kick, adjustments were made so this attack can be better to snipe attacks going for your feet in neutral. You can now combo into quarter circle forward medium kick, or heavy fuha. Advantage on hit changed on back heavy kick to +2 and has less hitbox on the back. I wonder how often you're actually going to hit this to try to beat a low attack. I have no idea. Crouching light punch. We adjusted the attack hitbox upwards. Normal chain combo standing heavy punch expanded hurtbox around the kicking leg immediately after the end of the active frames to match the hurtbox on the second frame. Change the hurtbox adjusted in number 1 to disappear on frame 24. The hurtbox around the body that appears from frames 28 to 29 now appears on frame 24. So I'm guessing making it more consistent adjustment to whip punish. This is the idea. Recovery change from 14 to 15 when missed with the crouching medium punch. This is a universal change that a lot of characters got. The overdrive corsical forward kick, the combo starting one, is more scaling. Increased buffer time at the end of the recovery for her Fuha. Reduced pushback on hit on corsical forward medium kick, so that you can combo more consistently off of it, I guess. And that's basically it. The rest of her stuff is like pretty much the same. Yeah, the jump heavy punch change is pretty big. Dee Jay's adjustments are primarily focused on tuning heavy jackknife maximum and overdrive just cool. His neutral game won't see much change, but we adjusted him so his combo ability and anti-air proficiency is a little better. The startup for heavy is faster, making it easier to use as an anti-air. Because of the faster startup time, it can combo from an up-close overdrive air slasher, giving him new combo routes. Wait, so like mid-screen, you can do EX Fireball into heavy up kicks. Overdrive just cool. The opponent's recovery on block is increased, meaning with the fastest timing transitioning into the low, it is a natural combo string. We also adjusted his overdrive, the medium kick version, as it had limited use. And now chips away the opponent's drive gauge better, so it can be used in those situations when up close. Standing heavy punch reduced the pushback on hit when the attack hits on the third active frame or later, probably trying to make combos better. Crouching light kick is a universal change. He hasn't changed a ton. He's got better combos. I think actually mid-screen, being able to do stand medium punch, stand light kick, EX fireball into heavy up kicks might be pretty good. Cammy's adjustments focus on adding more combo options and adjusting her situation after an attack hits. So swing combination is our heavy punch hard combo. Considering how easy it is to hit with this attack and its ability to carry the opponents in the corner, we adjusted this move so that after the final hit on the attack, the situation after hooligan combination is slightly worse. Heavy cannon spike, the attack hitbox on the tip of the attack was higher than other characters, allowing it to win out against standing and crouching medium punch, so we adjusted the hitbox so that it's an average height compared to other attacks. That is really random. Reduce attack hitbox on the tip of the technique downward, so stand light kicks better to whip punish like crouching medium kicks and stuff with probably. Heavy, the dark combo cancel timing for the final attack is now 2 frames later, a little bit of a nerf. Increased blowback time when hit an opponent in the air with spiral arrow, so probably harder to get juggles and stuff out of. Reduced horizontal blowback when hitting an opponent in the air between active frames 1 and 2 for DP, and increased combo count upper value limit on spin knuckle. Slight nerfs to her combo ability, basically. But otherwise, the same mostly. She's not that different, right? Ryu's adjustments are aimed at tweaking his situation after a special move connects and improving the ability of his attacks after Denjin charge. By improving Ryu's situation after hitting with heavy Shoryuken or Super Art level 3, we're looking to achieve a balance between Ryu's traditional high damage and continuing his offense, which we hope will increase the expected amount of damage he can dish out in a single interaction. Curious. Denjin charge requires him to temporarily stop his offensive, so we look to improve his boosted attacks in general to make it more charging. I feel like it's already like that. This is a universal change. A lot of crouching light kicks are like this. Crouching medium punch change is universal, so that they made it easier to whiff punish crouching medium punches in this patch. Jumping heavy kicks 2 frames faster. Forward heavy kick expanded the proximity block window. Landing recovery changed from 15 to 12 frames, so better Oki off heavy DP. Knockdown time increased by 5 frames when the attack hits on active frames 1 to 2. Better Oki off of heavy DP. Normal Hadouken. Recovery on hit changed according to the strength, and damage increased. Well, this might be actually really good for spaced out light Hadouken on hit, actually. Normal Denjin charge Hadouken. Technique length changed from 42 to 40 frames. Advantage on block changed from -3 to -1, and damage increased. I feel like it was already pretty good. Overdrive Hadouken, more damage, faster, and more damage on Denjin Hadouken. They want Hadouken to be better. They want him to be able to zone more. Tatsu juggles better. SA1 has better projectile speed, reduced attack hitbox downwards. The downward adjustment is made so that if the attack hits on an opponent at a high elevation, it will be more difficult for them to fall out. SA1 Denjin charge Shinku Hadouken. Doubled projectile speed, increased total technique length from 86 to 89, increased number of hits from 5 to 8, reduced hit stop block stun by 3 frames from hits 1 through 7, added a hitbox that will only hit during combos active 1 to 2. Can he just like throw a fireball and then beam you out of the air with this? This shit sounds hilarious. Shortened time to charge level 2 by 2 frames for both normal and Denjin versions. Oh, fuck. And CA has more advantage. Oh, maybe he can throw a fireball guaranteed after this in the anti-air you. He gets Oki probably now off of this, right? This is a pretty big deal. These are nice buffs to Ryu. I mean, already a strong character. I think he'll be one of the better characters in the game probably in the next version. This character is going to be insane. Ending Walker. When ending Walker is uploading clips, you know this shit's... Oh, without the charge version. Oh, fuck. I know my camera's in the way, but that is a lot of damage. Denjin level 1. Dude, how are you gonna... You can't do a fireball. He's gonna fucking blast you. Yeah, Denjin Railgun. This character is going to be Jesus this season. He's got the sandals on already. Honda. He has received a number of expansions to his combo pieces in addition to the character-wide moves explained in the general balance overview. I guess he has one of the drivers crushing medium kicks. Overdrive lift, which is the sumo step into down punch. By altering where the opponent lands after being launched and reducing its combo count, it should now significantly differ from its normal version. It will now link after hitting with the second hit of standing heavy punch or after power stomp, even while in the center of the screen. Perfect parry was an effective countermeasure against the safe on-block sumo headbutt. But now that Honda's opponents will have to worry about inputting the correct direction while closing the distance, we decided this would be too effective at keeping his opponent away. We reduced the amount of drive gauge damage on sumo headbutt in order to deal with opponents who are unable to parry it. More recovery on standing medium punch on miss. Good change. Standing heavy kick added a hitbox for the second hit that can only hit during a combo, making it easier to hit opponents in the air. More scaling on crushing medium kick. Universal change. All the characters got that. Power stomp. Down forward heavy kick. Increase the amount of time opponent ground balances on aerial hit. Added 20% combo scaling. Increase buffer input window at the end of recovery. So he gets power stomp into the EX lift, which they mentioned earlier, right? He can like lift you and then do the stomp and then do the EX lift and then push you to the corner. This sounds pretty good, actually. Less knockback on medium punch and heavy, particularly the medium version. He can do stuff better afterwards and keep you closer. The headbutt is a nerf. Outside of that, it's mostly Honda buffs. How much better he will be, who can say? But he mostly got buffed. The perfect parry changes, I think, are quite good for him. Maybe I'm crazy. Elena, no changes? Blanka. Blanka's most significant change is his ability to combo into overdrive wild hunt. Make use of the large advantage it gives on hit alongside of the opponent's inability to back roll on a hard knockdown to inflict heavy pressure. This is command grab, and you can now use it in grounded and aerial combos. So he can like whip punish, take EX command grab, and then get a doll. This is a pretty nice change. Aim more damage on crouching heavy. Removed hurtbox around the arms 2 frames before hitbox appears. Hurtbox around the arms 1 frame before the hitbox now appears. Is invincible to strike. What the hell? This is a leg kick change that was like a general thing. Double knee bombs has less knockback on hit, so you can combo better. This is about what I expected. I think Blanka is in like a pretty good spot, right? Pretty strong character. Not one of the strongest in the game, but he's like, you know, he's pretty solid. He benefits quite a bit, I think, from the parry change as well. That's pretty nice for Blanka. Guile. His projectiles are now a bit easier to use, and a number of his combo pieces have been extended. While these changes boost his combo damage and projectile-based gameplay, Knee Bazooka can no longer jump over the enemy. Well, they already nerfed the sweep hard knockdown anyway, right? So, like, he wasn't going to be able to do this no matter what. Sonic Boom. Guile's projectiles now disappear faster when they are judged to have left the screen, allowing him to shoot projectiles faster in situations like when his Sonic Boom misses after being jumped over, with total on-screen projectile time getting a boost. This will improve his pressure game. Neutral jumping booms is worse. SA1 has always had a hitbox that appeared during combo. This hitbox would not hit opponents that have been blown back by projectiles, making it easier for Guile to combo when his Sonic Hurricane on an opponent who has been wall splatted by Overdrive Sonic Cross. Wow. Stand heavy kick. Better on hit. So he gets better combos. Has more scaling. So it hurts the boom loop a little bit, actually, if you're using stand heavy kick in that. This is a universal change. Crouching heavy kick. Reduce knockback on hit. Counter hit on the first hit. Expanded hitbox second hit going forward. Expanded proximity. Block trigger on forward. Bazooka knee. Expanded clash hitbox downward from frames 5 to 20. High kick. Increase hit stop on punish counter. So whip punishing with it is better, and you can like more easily get flash kick and stuff. Reduce starting combo count on punish counter, so you can juggle better too. He got buffed. They buffed Guile a bit, huh? I mean, defense got buffed, and they buffed Guile. Wait, did he not get the crouching medium kick change of additional scaling? Did they just not list it? Question mark. This character is going to be insane. Ken had 2 major focuses for his changes: offensive and defensive properties of his Jinrai kick, and his positioning after performing a forward throw in the corner. Ooh! Ken's various offensive options force his opponent to make difficult split-second decisions when making one wrong move meant to only get out of the corner, but also led to Ken's easily looped corner pressure. With the changes to perfect parry, Ken should find his commonly used normals parried less, giving his Jinrai kick a boost in power. As such, we reduced it and its follows power. Yeah, I mean, tap parry change is a buff to Jinrai, right? So, not surprised. Medium kick is now more likely to be punished by a fast normal on block. Oh, they made it more than -5. Additionally, Kazekama Shin kick, often used to punish those who attack without a frame disadvantage, would now result in Ken being knocked down while he's counter hit during it. These changes made using Jinrai kick and its follow-ups a little bit more risky, as well as reducing the reward for successfully hitting with them. Crouching medium punch is a universal change. Nothing here, really. Jinrai, reduce drive gauge on block from -3000 to -2000. Expand a hurt box during recovery for the medium version only. Less drive gauge damage on light kick during Jinrai. More scaling on the EX version of it, which is pretty big because he looped that a lot. His level 2 advantage on block changed from -19 to -5. That's really random. Added 10 frames of recovery to his level 3 whiff. This is not invincible. His level 2 is not invincible, guys. You can just hit him out of it. Yeah, also this change here, standing light punch expanded forward momentum from drive rush by 3 frames. Is this a nerf to his drive rush jab because he moves further forward and he can't bait you, or does this just make it better? Not sure. Yeah, also more distance from forward throw, but that was up here. My guess is this character will still be quite strong though. Chun-Li, her main areas of focus were helping her ability to fight on the ground, which changes her crouching heavy kick and 100 lightning kicks, as well as increasing the effectiveness of Tensho kick's ability to anti-air. With the range around the same as her crouching medium kick, Chun's sweep was a move with limited effective use. Its range has been increased, making it more useful at both a counterattack and a whip punish. While it's more unsafe on block now, it should be a better tool in her ground game. Nice. Normal and regular lightning kicks. Light startup has been changed to 5 frames, helping Chun-Li counterattack against certain moves and links where she lacked an effective choice. Whoa. The overdrive version now increases its damage, makes it more valuable both as a combo piece and as a punish counter, giving it a wider range of uses than seen before. So they want you to punish counter lightning legs as a starter on -5 moves. You block like a spaced out heavy kick or something that's -5, they want you to do lightning kick reversal to punish. Medium lightning kicks faster, probably better for juggles and stuff. EX version is more damage, and it resets the combo count starting on successful punish counter in the air as well. Tensho kicks now have better change the active frames to hitboxes, so you don't whiff as much. She had a lot of problems with that before. This is a system change, making crouching medium punch more easy to whiff punish. Crouching heavy punch goes further, and it's now -9. For overhead is 1 more frame advantage on hit, so it's +6 on drive rush. Harder to immediate, but yeah. Kikoken increases the speed after it disappears after active frames end. Same thing they made it Guile. EX version of air lightning kicks has less landing after recovering and increased falling speed after it ends. I wonder if she can do like jump medium punch, air lightning legs, and then like safe jump you after or something now. Okay, cool. Nice buffs to Chun-Li. Buffing her control, buffing her conversions, making it less expensive for her to combo. Because right now her problem is like her anti-airs are not consistent, and when she hits you, she spends too much drive gauge on everything, right? So these are all nice buffs to that. Zangief has had his base hurtbox around his torso expanded, both weakening his throws and reducing his effectiveness in neutral. Always easier to hit, forcing him to work harder in neutral than he has before. His neutral is insanely good in this game. This character is very powerful right now, to be fair. They decided that he needed to be fatter. As a result of the hurtbox expansion, Zangief now finds himself at more of a distance from his opponent, even when close. In order to ensure his combos and links still function, double lariat's hitbox has been expanded, while OD screw pile driver's range has been increased to preserve Zangief's identity as a grappler. And driving impact was also shorter compared to other characters, so in order for it not to reach to be too short, he will now move forward further. Okay, so he's fatter now. Zangief will now appear slightly further back while moving during drive rush, but this change is purely visual. Okay, more scaling on crouching medium kick, universal change. Change the attack types on all hits from high to low from the stomps. Oh, that's pretty big. So he has straight up stomp, 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 always low. Big for the parry change as well. He's just easier to fight in neutral now because he's bigger, so you can tag him from further more often. Not what I would have expected. Reminder, he literally just got top 3 at the last 2 Premier tournaments. He is a good character in this version. Is he top 5 or something? If you ask Japan, maybe, but I don't know who's telling you he's not. He's a strong character in this version of the game. We all agree. I'm not surprised he got nerfed, but this is a nerf in a way that's kind of cooler than like nerfing any of his power. It just made it so that his neutral is like more thoughtful. Honestly, his neutral is excellent. Sim. Whoa, they got a lot here. Our main focus was looking at the properties of Yoga Blast and touching up how he fights at a medium distance. In order to boost its anti-air properties, Yoga Blast hurtbox has been reduced from the time its hitbox first appears, making it less likely for the attack to get canceled out by attacks from a sharp angle above. Giving him better anti-airs with this is kind of cool. I mean, it's already a half circle anti-air kick, so it's kind of like a modern only anti-air, right? And additionally, the overdrive version has been given air invincibility from when the hitbox appears. Whoa. The heavy version of Yoga Blast is unable to use this change effectively. As such, heavy Yoga Blast forward momentum hitbox and the opponent's reaction have been changed, allowing it to be used as a more powerful combo piece from medium attacks and above. Dhalsim will now be able to act faster after using float while on the ground, making it easier to cancel into and otherwise. This is a defensive buff as well, right? And he could probably do like far button, cancel into float better. Jumping heavy, do it at small hurtbox. His jumping heavy has a small hurtbox? Says who? It would often clash with anti-air moves like Shoryuken, resulting in both attacks missing. We've expanded the size of this hurtbox in all directions from when the hitbox appears to prevent this from happening. Okay, never mind. Small hurtbox. I read it wrong. It says small hurtbox. My bad. Crouching heavy, reduced hit stop and block stun from 24 to 20 frames. And the advantage has been altered as well. It's like way better on drive rush. Not down back heavy punch. This is a buff when he like beats fireballs and stuff with it or does whatever, right? Down back light kick advantage -5 to -3. That's pretty big. Overdrive Yoga Fire. Faster startup by 1 frame, extended knockback time on block from the second hit, extended blowback time on both grounded and aerial hit. This is a nice buff to Yoga Fire. So yeah, these are nice changes. They don't look like super sexy changes, but they seem like nice utility changes for combos. better anti-air consistency, and better like ability to pull himself out of situations with like button into float and stuff like that, or like float in general on the ground to slip away from you. Rashid. I'm curious. Agility and special moves allowed him to easily escape the corner while easily punishing his opponent or pushing his opponent in the corner. Yeah, he was really annoying to chase. We've weakened his easily looped offense in the corner using his forward throw while giving him a larger reward on hitting with strikes in neutral. Yeah, his neutral pokes are a little weird. Rashid will now be further away from his opponent when successfully performing a forward throw. With the ability to stay at an advantage with a number of powerful attacks on the corner after a forward throw, it was extremely difficult for opponents to escape this pressure. In order to reduce the number of situations that this occur, we adjusted the situation where he finds himself after a throw. Probably still has the throw loop, but he probably can't do like meaty fireball stuff and other things like that, is my guess, as easily, right? Overdrive whirlwind shot held now requires less time in order to fully power up, boosting its ease of use. EX spinning mixer, it will often beat drive impacts. This has been altered so that like other characters' OD moves, this will not occur. This means that if you call out DPOS, you can drive impact it and then yeah. Standing light punch. This is also a change that they gave to Ken as well. I gotta see what this does. Standing medium punch. Reduce pushback on punish counters so we can get better combos. Spinning mixer. Extended knockback time from second hit on block by 3 frames. Missing with a third hit on the opponent and burnout will no longer leave you open to counterattack. Yeah, this is annoying. Spinning hitbox forward for the first hit for spinning mixer. And medium spinning mixer has better anti-air properties when it's enhanced. Yo, buddy. Whirlwind shot is faster. And he gets longer on the air current as well. That's pretty nice. Rashid, very similar to what he was before. Not a ton of nerfs. Better EX fireball is very big for him. And the anti-air change with the enhanced medium mixer is really nice. The throw is probably the only thing that will really matter. Aki. The main focus of her changes was her combos and attack sequences. While some of her most commonly used combo starters were scaled and weakened slightly, she has received a number of new options to use in her combos. Standing medium punch was slightly more recovery on block, is no longer to cancel her standing medium punch in a toxic wraith after delay to punish opponents who move. However, she will now have crouching medium kick blocked automatically after drive rush canceled from a blocked standing medium punch, and an opponent in burnout will no longer be able to interrupt standing medium punch into heel strike. That's a nice buff. What up, Fee? Because of the boost in power to this adjustment brings, we also increase the pushback on heel strike against the block opponent in burnout. Yeah, nerfing and buffing her burnout pressure, which is very, very good. Medium serpent lash is now faster, can be more easily used by follow-up attacks against opponents in the air. Because the hitbox appears faster now, we've increased the amount of active frames to ensure it was still in hit in combos, which is pretty nice. Cruel Fate, with its hitbox during combos expanded forward, it's now easier to use as part of combos. In particular, it can now link from standing heavy kick on punish counter. Okay, cool. Standing heavy, increased pushback on block so she can poke with it better. Crouching medium punch, 1 frame faster. She already used this on punish counter with stuff, but now she can get it a little bit easier from stuff, which is pretty nice. And this combos into EX whip, scaling on crouching medium kick. This is a universal change. Crouching heavy kick, expanded hitbox around the feet after active frames and upwards. So she can maybe anti-air more consistently with it. Forward heavy, changed hit effect against mid-air opponent. Interesting. I wonder how that works with poison. I don't know what that's going to do now. 2 punches on heavy nightshade pulls has more scaling. Heel strike has more pushback during burnout because it naturally works from standing medium punch, right? And crouching medium punch is 6 frames now too for that. And back throw has more recovery. First A.K.I fight, when they back throw me, I'm quick rising and holding up and jumping their fireball. The big thing about this is, yeah, exactly, person in chat. By making it so that this move is worse in burnout, if she wants to keep pressure, she needs to spend meter now or do the light stabby stabby stab air move. And the light stabby stab air move is anti-airable. So this makes her burnout pressure a little bit weaker, and this makes her back throw a little weaker, but otherwise nice changes to her. What up, Tail? What you yapping for? Edward. Ed's ability to make use of his held Psycho Flicker after a forward throw in the corner was extremely powerful. I figured they would nerf this. We changed the situation he's left in after a forward throw, giving him a new movement option from his iconic Psycho Flicker. Whoa, forward throw. Ed's advantage in position after a successful throw has been significantly altered, especially in the corner. Ed will no longer be able to throw or hit with a held Psycho Flicker right as the opponent recovers, thus making continuing as an attack after a forward throw much more risky. Psycho Flicker now canceled into Kill Rush. The non-held version of this move can be canceled both as a powerful spacing control move that can quickly close space on counter hit or as a new combo piece. Wait, he can do Flicker, cancel, Kill Rush? Additionally, after considering the higher gain return from punish counter and the strength of held version, we've increased the risk of using Psycho Flicker by adding a screen freeze on successful perfect parry. Big change. So you can now punish it easier. Medium/heavy Psycho Uppercut, decreased super gauge gain in the medium and heavy version, slightly less meter. So when he does his level 2 combos, he builds slightly less bar. So his corner pressure is a little weaker. His combo routing is going to be better though. This is a combo example from the new change, which means that he can do things like this. This is Sasamo, the Ed player from Japan. That's pretty nice. My guess, with defensive buffs and stuff, this character is probably still very, very, very good. The Demon. By tweaking the pushback of his moves on block and the properties of attack sequences, we've given his opponents a bit of help when faced with Akuma's Numerable options. Forward heavy punch, fireball, and heavy adamant flame was able to make use of these moves to avoid punishment on block. We reduced the amount of pushback on block to ensure he's more likely to eat a counterattack while trying to preserve the ease of use of these attacks. The Tart combo from forward heavy punch will now leave Akuma closer to his opponent when blocked by using his attack from drive rush. Oh yeah, drive rush, forward heavy punch, very good. The crouching heavy kick is nerfed, right? Because it's no longer a hard knockdown. The EX version of the demon flip can now be canceled into Tenma Gozonku. Couldn't tell you what that is. Crouching light kick. By increasing the speed of Akuma's crouching light kick, we've made it so that it's more likely that the attacks clash with an opponent's normal. Oh, his level 1, okay. This is a universal change with the recovery on this, right? Increased pushback on hit as well. Ooh, that might matter for some of his combos. Crouching light kick can be rapid canceled earlier. Crouching heavy kick reduced the knockdown time while hit in the air. Back heavy kick, increased pushback on block. That's probably a buff, no? Fireball, reduced pushback on block, meaning it's easier to punish. You can probably punish medium until a fireball now. Increased opponent's drive gauge, increase on drive parry when parrying the fireball. Increased scaling on his air fireball. Third input no longer hits a grounded opponent on EXDP. Okay. Heavy adamant flame is -3 instead of -2. So it's only +1 now in burnout. Reduced pushback on block. So this move is fucking annoying. And drive rush adamant flame is obviously insane. So good changes. Even blade kick during demon raid has more scaling. He can do his EX thing into level 1, which is kind of cool. Mostly these are nerfs, but not significant. Probably still really strong, is my guess. These are nice changes, though. I think the forward heavy punch change and the adamant flame change in particular are nice nerfs. No more light Tatsu sweep double dash. Yeah, that is true. But he could just do dash walk or something, or dash drive rush, or like, you know, it'll change his pressure a little bit, but I don't think it'll matter too much probably. Bison. This character got nerfed a bunch in the last patch, but was still very strong. With the system changes being introduced in this upcoming patch, particularly those of Perfect Berry, and Bison is likely to receive a further boost to his offense. Taking this into consideration, we reduced the effectiveness of a number of moves. These include standing light punch, deadly when paired with his drive rush, standing heavy punch, which gives him a combo on normal hit. Bro, they are talking shit. And finally, his back fist combo, which allows him to set a cycle mine and further push his offense. Additionally, we improved the situation and Bison finds himself in when a number of his special moves hit, as they were not seeing much use. We'll now have a harder time launching an offensive against the opponent from the center of the screen using dry rush after hitting with the light and medium versions of back fist combo after changes to Bison's recovery and hit effect on the opponent. On the other hand, it will now be easier to pressure opponents after planting a mine with dry rush after the EX version. They want it to be more expensive, and you want to use the EX version more often. That buffs his light confirms in, huh? Light and medium Psycho Crusher now leave Bison in a better situation before when used mid-screen, allow him to press his opponent further with his pressure. The light version will receive changes to both its startup and hitbox, allowing it to link from light norm. They're saying, listen, mid-screen, you got bomb into whatever you want way too often. Now, we would like you to hit confirm into Psycho Crusher until you make it to the corner, and then you can plant the mine, and then you can do whatever you want. Unless you're willing to spend EX gauge. Standing light punch now has 1 less active frames, more recovery. His stand jab is really good. And it's also slightly worse on block. Stand heavy. Increase the distance of the central axis of the character moves from 3 frames before the attack begins to 3 frames after the active frames end. Okay. The hurt box will now extend further forward, so it's easier to intercept them. Standing medium kick. Reduce active frames by 1, increase recovery by 1, increase hurt box later on. So easier to whiff punish. Same thing with this, so that you can't shimmy off of this. Crouching light kick, same system change we saw earlier. Psycho Crusher bug fix. Basically, they want him to do Psycho Crusher more. Terry, the majority of his moves are in an acceptable place. Because of this, the focus for this update was to make his combos a bit easier and to help with a couple of his moves stand out a bit more with tunings to their properties. Standing medium punch. With a slight boost to the reach of the move directly after the hitbox appears, it should no longer hit at different times depending on the distance of the opponent. Yeah, this is annoying. When you do EX Fireball, you want to link stand medium punch after. The window to use this target combo has also been expanded, making it easier to use after confirming standing medium punch on hit. Ooh, hit confirm will stand medium punch, heavy punch is pretty good. With both a damage boost and a scaling addition, Power Drive will end up dealing around the same damage when using a combo, but will deal more damage when an opponent's counter hit after trying to move first while blocking standing medium. Heavy crack shoot. With improvements to its effectiveness as a projectile and tweaks to its third hit hitbox, it should now be easier to ensure every hit connects when combining from heavy power charge. Okay, cool. Expanded buffer input grace period as attack recovery ends. Probably better for super stuff. Standing heavy kick, reduce pushback on punish counter. Really nice, so he gets his combos more consistently off this. Crouching medium punch, this is a universal change. Crouching light kick is a universal change. Crouching heavy kick 1 frame faster, more recovery. Increased knockdown time on punish counter by 1 frame. Maybe he gets a safe jump now. Medium heavy does more damage and is faster. Medium power wave, increased time hurt box around the arms last for 3 extra frames. Round wave, change attack type from high to low. You have to low parry the round wave. If you tap parry while standing, You don't get the freeze. That's pretty nice. Quick burn, increased distance move during attack. Ooh, can you combo it more consistently? The first part would whiff a lot. Expanded proximity block trigger forward, and supers are faster. Nice. EX version, expanded hitbox of second hit forward, expanded proximity block forward. Heavy burn knuckle, expanded the super cancel timing, expanded hurtbox upwards of the EX burn knuckle. Medium crack shoot does more damage. Heavy crack shoot has less of a hurtbox around the feet downwards. Less likely to be hit from behind after jumping over a projectile. This thing sucks ass at going over projectiles. Pretty cool changes. I don't know what to expect here. With her powerful tools to keep the opponents away in mid and long ranges, as well as an ability to repeat certain avenues of attack with little risk, Mai was too effective at keeping her opponent's choices limited while she was on the offensive. Heavy kick, right? As such, we tweaked her standing heavy kick and Kacho Sen. With the additional recovery and expansion of its hurtbox, standing heavy kick is now riskier for her to use. Standing heavy punch does drive gauge increase change from 3,000 to 2,000. She gets less, and it's closer on block, which is important because you can interrupt when she does fan toss a little bit easier, probably. Crouching light punch has hitbox expanded upwards. Crouching heavy kick has more frames when it misses. These are regular fireballs. Hurtbox around the legs will last until the recovery is fully completed. Hurtbox around the arms will last for 27 frames after the attack startup. Easier to check it. Added a projectile invuln hitbox to the feet from the third frame from normal held fireball. Interesting. Ooh, held fireball. Removed proximity block trigger from fans bouncing. Nice change. You can now hold back and walk away. This is a big change. So it makes it easier to position around the fans and stuff. Overdrive version, increased drive gauge gained when parrying it. Only one fan will remain in bounce now after only one of the third and fourth fans clash with opponent's moves. Okay. Light normal boosted Rambu, more drive gauge on medium. Better juggles on normal hit DP, or increased combo count upper limit actually is worse, right? Flame stocks will now begin at the end of recovery after her level 1 startup. Yeah, this is annoying because she can like do level 1 on block and then still get the thing, and it's annoying. Okay, cool. Mostly nerfs, but like pretty fair stuff overall for Mai. I imagine she'll still be pretty good. Overall, patch buffs defense quite a bit, it seems like, and makes defense in general quite a bit stronger. I would guess that the defensive characters in this game are going to be fucking beasts. Like JP and Guile. Yeah, Rashid will still be good. Jamie is way better also, I think. He got a lot of nice buffs. Let's think about this now where the patch is fresh in our mind. Characters I expect to be crazy. Ryu, JP, Guile. Yeah, a lot of the characters in general feel like they got pretty nice changes though. Let me update Street Fighter, and then let's go play some Elena. The real reason we're all here is Elena, no? The future is now, asshole. Oh yeah, I'm about to fucking spin.